Hello, we are live. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for connecting. I'd like to know your name and where you're connecting from so that you can be recognized and be welcome. Thank you for joining this show today. And before I go into what we are into, let me just introduce myself. My name is Sandra Ukoh. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, speaker, trainer, and coach. I'm also an expert, sales expert of 20 years, IT sales. I'm also an author of the book, Can Anything Hold You Back? And today we have a special guest with us. His name is Daniel Orias. But before I bring him on board, I want to just go into the intro to introduce what this show is all about. Hi, you're welcome to Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh. I believe there is a great giant in you waiting to be discovered and unearthed. You have within you right now all that you need to become that change agent and the best version of you that God has made you to be. It is time to ignite you and discover your greater potential and to see the possibilities that exist within you to help you maximize your potential. Through this unique platform for mentoring, training, teaching, and coaching people on how they can become better versions of themselves after being through trauma and trials in their finances, business, career, relationships, and a lot more. At Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh Live Show, we leverage the power of storytelling, coaching, mentorship, and value creation to help bring about the best in people in order to create a world of difference. This show requires bringing us to assessing our value system and process of recreation of a good value system to help shape our thoughts through the guests that share their story on this platform. This process opens our eyes to new strategies, information, and value perspective that will help us define and refine our value system with more clarity on our why. We need to know our why. Why am I here? What have I been called to do or to solve? To help people live with a mindset, begin with the end in mind, and to stand out in all that we are called to do. You can join us live on Monday at 5 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. West African time. And if you have a great story or testimony to share, you can reach us via our contact info@deepinsightword.com. We will respond as soon as we get your details, or you send us the details via this link. Thank you, and you are welcome to today's episode. Hi, you're welcome, and glad to have you today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And before I bring in our guest, I just quickly want to read his bio and where he's making a difference. Dan Orias is married for 39 years. He's a father of three accomplished children. He's a retired military personnel, served honorably for 20 years. That's awesome. He became a Toastmaster in October 2017, and he completed the Distinguished Toastmaster status in July 2020. His passion is that he loves helping people to grow, and that's why he's on this show today. And besides Toastmasters, he loves computer technology. And we are glad to bring him up. And the next person's voice you hear is our guest for today. Hello, you're welcome. So glad
Hello,
to have
hello.
you. Hi.
Hi, and thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Yes, sir. Great to have you. You're welcome. I just read your short bio. I know you're very precise and you kept it very simple. You might want to tell us more that I did not say. You know, you're doing more, I know. So you might want to, tell us more.
I'm sorry, your voice was breaking up and I couldn't quite make out
Oh,
exactly what you're
sorry.
saying,
I
but I could
said,
pretty much understand what you were
okay,
trying to
then.
get at. And thank you for inviting me here today. So yes, I do have a very short bio, and more often than not, I think personally speaking, I like to only share what is necessary out there in regards to myself. I'm not too flamboyant, if that's okay with you, but as far as sharing what we can do to help other people and to make them grow and to become better people, to become better person, I'm absolutely there for you. So apologies on the short bio, but
No, it's
that's
okay.
ultimately what I would like for people to know is that what I'm passionate about, which is life's education and Toastmasters and the things that we can do to help others.
Sure. Sure, and that's so precise. Keep it short and simple and very potent, straight to the point. Thank you so much for being on this show today. I'm glad to have you. I just want to find out, I know you've been through diverse kind of training, different club meetings. What informed all the training? What informed all the training? Hey, you hearing me? I hope there's no network failure or something. Hello, Dan.
Hi, sorry, Sandra. I couldn't make out what your question was.
Yes, I said,
Yeah, I couldn't make out anything.
I'm sorry. I said, what informed all the trainings you've been through? I know you've been through diverse training. So, what informed all the trainings and has it impacted you to becoming a person of difference?
Um, again, I think we are having a connection problem. But in regards to that, let me just share a little bit about me, and maybe we can go from there because I don't know how to respond to you if I don't know what the question is. But I
Sorry, I
do
think the connection.
understand the importance of why we are meeting here today. And so let me just allow me to go ahead and share with you
That's good. And
Toastmasters,
I
for
also send you
example.
some questions via the comment section. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what made me become a Toastmaster? Well, a little bit of background for me. I actually grew up in Oakland, California, and in growing up there, the culture as an immigrant, because I actually came originally from the Philippines, and at 9 years old, I arrived in Oakland, California, and the culture was totally different, as you can imagine. I'm sure for many people that comes from different countries and they arrive to a new country, that the culture and the change that you have to embody in yourself in order for you to acclimate yourself to the new surroundings and environment is mind shocking sometimes. So yes, growing up in Oakland kind of pushed me to want to better myself, but I didn't know how. And I think a lot of people experience that throughout the world today, where we really don't know what we need to do in order for us to take that next step in becoming a better person or to be successful in life. And in this regard, my parents were wonderful people. They were God loving. They were Christians who believed in doing the right things, and the things that they showed me was hard work, and hard work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all the things that they were able to share with me. They weren't educated, and I don't mean that in the slightest bit. But what I'm saying is sometimes life gives you a path and gives you the opportunities, and they didn't have the opportunities of education. The only thing that they knew was constantly work hard and to try to teach me to go to a good path. So the only thing I learned from them obviously is hard work. Everything else I had to find on my own. Education and everything else. Well, my education suffered at an early age, coming from the background of being in Oakland, California, and the environment, the neighborhood, the people that I was associated with. Sometimes, you can put it in a context of it's not so big deal, and a lot of people in life throughout the world go through these many different forward. Well, at some point, having gone through all the struggles I did through my teenage years, I was fortunate enough to have decided to go into the military. So the military formulated my early background to be able to go ahead and get myself organized, to get myself coordinated into thinking and doing the right things in life. So the military was a key component that started me. But even then, that wasn't all of it. I found that having a family and having to support the family, through the military is very challenging because the military demands a lot from you. They need you to do this. They need you to commit to these things and to put your time and effort 24/7 into being a good military person to do the things that's necessary. And sometimes family life tends to suffer a little bit. I think I didn't become a whole person or find out about myself until after the military. I was very thankful with the military because it myself, my passion, what I wanted to do in life, what I wanted to do for other people until after the military. And this is where Toastmasters came in because there are many good people in Toastmasters, just as I'm sure we know with John Maxwell and everything else. There's many good people out there. It's just a matter of meeting them and connecting with them, understanding where they're coming from, understanding what they have to share with you. And in my case, um, one of the things, by the way, that Toastmaster teaches you is to be able to listen. And in listening to other people's perspectives and understanding where they're coming from and the things they're sharing, it allowed me to go ahead and connect with my beliefs, with my understanding, and to try to put them and meld them together into how they can be cohesive to go ahead and teach and to be able to be a functional person in the community. So Toastmasters allowed me the opening to understand other people. And after the Toastmasters, or rather doing the Toastmasters, it also taught me to open up, not just to always think about the things that are surrounding me, but for the other people that are there that I can make a big difference, a big impact to. One of the things that I found an English teacher, one of the things that she implemented at her school is the junior Toastmasters. So that gave me another avenue to go ahead and teach the youth and the children of today to have a better start. So, in a nutshell, I've been in the military, I've been a Toastmaster, I have associated myself into helping other people to coach, whether through speaking or to things to just help them on a day-to-day basis, and also as well as to try and reach out to the youth of today and to the younger people to give them that little bit of a head start, because a lot of times I remember when I was young and I really didn't know the direction that I needed to go or to focus on in order for me to move through life. Well, I'd like to share that with the youth of today, and that's where junior Toastmasters came in because I want them to have a good start as well. So there's my story, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up so that allow you to go ahead and ask me if there's anything in particular you'd like for me to share with you and the audience today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. I think the network on your end, but we can manage and go through with it. Thank you for that story that you've just shared, all the trainings you've been through life and how you've helped, help the teenage range, the youths to have a great start. And that's a great one you're doing because we find out that a lot of teenage, once they are in school at that high school level, some of them, when they are about leaving school, don't know what they want to do. They need to have a very great start, someone to guide them, someone to show them the path. And thank you because you're doing that. That's a great one you're doing from your end with your wife, trying to help the youth to have a great start. And that's what we call identity crisis. They're trying to find their bearing, trying to find themselves, trying to find out who they are truly, who they are. And so they need us as parents, they need us as guardian mentors and coaches to guide them into the right path, their calling, what they've been called to do. Thank you for that information. I also want to ask, I sent you a text message just in case you can hear me very well. The question is, during this training, all the exposures that you had, did you ever had a challenging moments, challenging situation? How did you manage? I had to send a text message just in case you can hear me very well. How would you?
Sure, absolutely. And it's I'm glad you asked that question because obviously different people, we all tend to have our own way of dealing with problems. How do we go ahead and tackle these challenges that we receive? A lot of times we need to find, first of all, that spiritualism part in ourselves. I think the best way to put it in layman's terms is that you need to understand yourself. You need to be able to know yourself, what you're about. And once you are able to understand, then you're able to understand other people's perspective. How did I cope with the challenges in life? A lot of times I prayed, of course. You reach out to God for guidance and what have you. And other times you need to go ahead and also communicate with others, with good people. Surrounding yourself with the right people is a great way of helping yourself. All too often, a lot of people go through life, they feel alone and they feel lonely and they don't know how to tackle things and become overwhelmed with all the things that are going through in life. And unfortunately, some people go to the extreme. And I find I never allow myself hour. I always make sure that I reach out to someone that is positive, that has the right things I can share with you. So the best way that I can tell you how I approach the challenges in life is to make sure that there are people that are there, positive people that cares about you, that sees the good things about you, and also understands the negative parts in all of us. And so they're able to support me and to tell me how to deal with things and to just be there. Sometimes a sounding board, someone to just listen, is just as good as someone that is able to give you the good advices. So, as far as challenges are concerned, there's some people around me that help allow me to cope with things. I've had many challenges in life, obviously, with teenage as well as my family challenges. We all have family challenges. Our kids, they grow up and we want to make sure that they grow up a proper way, and sometimes it's not conducive to what your plans are. But these are parts of the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And after now that I've become a Toastmaster, I have those challenges as well with other people. And I always find that the key element especially in recent years, is surround yourself with the top 5 people that you can possibly find. And when you are surrounding yourself with the top 5 people you can find, guess what? All the positive things, all the successful things that they do have a tendency to rub off on you, because these are the things that you are now listening to on a daily basis. These are the things that you are emulating. These are the things that you are producing and doing on a daily basis. So you in itself actually become a better person. So now I gave an arbitrary number and I gave 5. It doesn't have to be 5. Surround yourself with the right people, because all the positivity and the right things that they're doing, it will certainly rub off on you and make you a better person. So hopefully that helps, but is one of my secrets, one of the key things that I make sure that I do is to surround myself with the right people.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you rightly said it. And there are two things, difficult situations. That's a great one, sir. I think there's a network. There are two things difficult situations leave us to. Is either they make us better or they mar us. There are two things. So you decide which one it is. Because a lot of times I know that when we go through challenge, they either brings out the best in you or they leave you worse off from where you were before. And there are three things we must do. It is said that the resources you allow inside yourself, the books you read, and the people you hang around, are the only thing that will make your life different. Otherwise, you will remain on the status quo, the way you were 5 years ago, except for the books you read, the resources that you allow into yourself, and the environment you plug in. What are the books you read? What are the environments? What are the resources? Resources in the sense that the phone, what you do when you're on TV, Netflix, what do you watch? What are the news? What are the informations that get into your system? What environments do you have around you? Are they environments that will help you grow, an environment that will bring you down? You need to find the right environment and plug in. Having the right environments is just like 50% of where you're going to be. If you're in the wrong environments, whatever you're doing is great. If you're not careful, you would go. They said if you can't beat them, you join them. So oftentimes, if you cannot help yourself with the resources, the environment, you can change environments. You can find an environment like John rightly said, Dan rightly said, is having the right people around you, have hanging around the right people. And that is so important. It is said that one is too small a number to achieve greatness. So that means that for you to achieve success and being great in life, one as a number is too small. You need to plug into a system. You need a group of people. You need people who are ahead of you. You need to be in a system where you can learn and glean from others. Just like we're doing this evening, where Dan is here with us to tell us about his experience. We're gleaning from him. We're learning some of his life experiences rather than, allowing ourselves fall into such pitfalls that we had felt in time past, or what Dan did wrongly that heading back, we can learn from Dan. And, with that, cut off all those pitfalls, learn from him, and move on faster in life. So that was a great one, John. Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate that. When you had a great moment, how did you celebrate it? One of the reasons I'm asking this question is
Thank you.
to let,
Thank
to
you.
let people
Absolutely.
know that when they have low moments, you deal with it rightly. And when you have high moments, you also celebrate or deal with it rightly so that you have a balance. Thank you.
Absolutely. And, just as much as in dealing with obstacles, you said it, you absolutely have to celebrate the good moments, because each good moments, each celebration establishes that foundation that you need, that strong foundation that you need to be able to go ahead and tackle all those negative moments that does happen. Life isn't always happy. Life isn't always negative. It's always going to be up and down. But in order for you to celebrate those positive moments, in order for you to be able to tackle those pending obstacles, you need to have that strong foundation in yourself, the confidence and the people around you. So yes, absolutely celebrate the accomplishes, whether they're small, whether they're big or large, or small. Celebrate those moments. And who do I celebrate them with? Family. I think family is always the key. When you have a strong foundation, chances are you usually have a strong family around you. Now, of course, I would be remiss by assuming those that do not have family. Well, guess what? Family isn't necessarily defined as a wife, a son, or a
Sure,
daughter.
sure.
Family can be defined in many different ways. It could be a relative, it could be a friend. So these positive people, these are your families. It could be Toastmasters, it could be the John Maxwell group, or whomever that you decide that you need to associate with. These are people that you have a tendency to bring within your life. So they're your families. So they're part of who you need to bring in to your celebration. And yes, you do need to celebrate the good moments in life,
Sure.
because they are the foundation of a strong future ahead.
Awesome. That's a great one. Family is not necessarily people you're blood related to. Family is the people you do things have things to do with. They could be your college, high school, friends at workplace, family in church, family, Toastmasters family. They could be just any group of people who have identified to be like family to you. You could reach out to them. And that's why it's often good. We have a system where we plug in. We have people we can celebrate with. We have people who can check out on us, how we're doing. At this time, you can imagine when we had COVID, a lot of people, a lot of people lost loved ones. But at those times were times you need to reach out to close friends and even friends you've not seen for years, just to check out on them. It's not about giving them money, but just showing some kind of care. So it goes beyond, having your immediate family, having a system, an environment of people you can deal with, relate with, you can check on them. And oftentimes I tell people, I said, don't wait until you have negative things happening around you before you reach out. Check on people. 3 months ago, you've not seen your friend. Just check how he's doing. How's the family? How's work? I hope your how is your environment and everything. You know, those are little things that make a difference in our lives as individuals. Belonging. And sometimes you just want to, oh my God, it's been a while. You just checked on me. Oh, I was going through this. And sometimes you can just send a word, a wise saying, a word of encouragement, knowing that they've been through divers or maybe they're having a challenge. Those words are, very strong for people. You never know what they're going through or what they're passing through life. When you send such messages, the people feel loved. They feel that, oh, sometimes I just send a text message to friends I've not seen for 6 months, 1 year. I just thought of you and I thought to check on you. How you doing? So that in the case tomorrow I need their help, it wouldn't look like, oh, you're coming to me because you need help. You never checked for me. So I try to be in touch with everyone because you never know when you will need them along the journey of life. You understand? And you might have some things that will benefit them. I could be called for a job interview and I think I don't have strength in that area. I could have one or two friends who are strong in that area. I could refer the job to them. I could call them and said, BC, do you know what happened? I was called for an interview and I think you have a better skill than me. I'm referring you, and you never know. So we need to, it is said that hurting people hurt people, but we are a people of difference. We are a people of value. We see value in ourselves. We love ourselves. So we love all this around us. If you don't love yourself, there's no way you can. He said, it's out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. It is what you have on your inside that you exhume. That's what you reflect. That's what people get to see around you. So because we are people of value, we see value in others. And that's why we want to pass value to others. And that's why we want to be a blessing. So there's something you're doing right that's making you, fly higher. Share with others. Be a blessing to others. You never know what people are going through. At this time, it's often good you reach out, either a phone call, a text message, or an email. Whatever way you can reach out to your loved ones, friends, alma mater, people you went to school to with, and you're still in touch, you have their numbers. It's often good you reach out to them, as this would, go a long way to strengthen your relationship. Like I tell people, I said, money as a currency is the lowest of all currency. Relationship as the highest of all currency. You can lose money and get money, but relationship once lost sometimes might never be gotten back. And even if you get such relationship, it might not be as strong as it was in the past. You understand? So I appreciate that question. And I also want to find out, how do you manage relationships in your lives? Friends in and out.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's a very good question. I guess in being open and being sharing with you, I guess I don't mind sharing this, but for the past year, I've actually been going through this, whether it's with friends, family, and in this case, my wife and I kind of went through a little bit of a rough patch. And in how did I handle my relationship with her? All too often, if we allow our emotions to get the best of us or to dictate how we respond, all too often our emotions will get the better of us, and all too often it's anger.
Sure.
It's the anxiety, it's these little negative emotions that doesn't allow us to move forward. And I remember we had many of these moments, whether it's with my wife in dealing with some of the problems we had. And I find that we don't go anywhere. Once you bring those negativity in, your communication has a tendency to stop. When your communication stops, this is when the problem happens, because
Yeah,
now
sure.
the ear of the other person shuts down. They won't listen to you, and you yourself won't listen to the other side. So how have I managed this? We're actually getting better. So we're improving. So we're moving forward, and we're able to tackle some of the things we do. How did I listen more? And one of the things that I learned as I've gotten older in life is to listen. This is one of the most understated, undervalued trait that we all have, because we
Sure.
have a tendency that we want to be able to speak. We want
Mhm.
you to hear me. We want you to do the things that I say. We want you to
Sure.
understand.
But you don't listen.
And a lot of times we don't listen. But if we listen and we begin to understand their perspective, then we have that bridge, that connection, or we're able to work together, because now we are not working one-on-one, but rather together. So I started being more conducive and understanding to her problem, to her needs. Was I a part of that problem? Yes, absolutely. I know I was a part of the problem. She was a part of my problem as well. So it goes hand in hand. But I have to understand why I was a problem for her. And I also need to communicate with her why she was a problem for me. And once you find the connection between the two, then you're able to come up with a solution on how you can work with those problems, with those situations. How have I dealt with relations? Positivity and
Sure.
understanding, and empathy is also a part of it, because if you cannot empathize with the other party, then you don't care. But if you are able to empathize with what they're going through, then you're showing that you care, and that you're showing that you're willing to work with a situation. And these are the things that I try to apply with the problems that I've had throughout relationships. I wasn't always like that. When we're young, our youth,
Learn.
our relationships and our friends, sometimes we just say, we don't care, right? I don't care about you, or whatever the case is. You piss me off. I'm mad at you. You want to leave? Leave. Well, it's easier to leave. But like you said, sometimes once you lose that relationship, sometimes it's hard to get it back. The question is, do you really want to lose those relationships, or do you want to work hard at keeping those relationships? Now, if the answer is that you do want to put in the effort to hold on to those relationships, then I would recommend to work a little bit harder and to understand the other party, and not necessarily everything about you, but to understand where they're coming from. When you begin to understand their perspective, then you can answer your question. But that was a great question, by the way. And yeah, you made me share something about myself that I usually don't share with other people. But yes, I mean, we all go through life and we have challenges, and yes, my wife and I are working through things, just like every man and wife out there,
Sure.
every relationship out there, they're going through
Yeah.
things. And the best way that I can sum it up is to try to be patient, to be patient,
That's
to
a
be
great one,
understanding.
Dan.
Yes, and empathy and perspective and understanding. And the key there is listening. You have to listen.
Yes, it is. It's a skill everyone needs to build up on that. I'm learning,
Back
I'm
to you,
still in a
Sandra.
learning curve. That's a great one. You just said it all. Listening, everybody wants to speak, everyone wants to be heard, but not everyone. Like there's this book by John Maxwell. He said everyone communicates, but very few are connecting. We want to speak, and that's why I tell people there's a reason why God gave us 2 ears and only one mouth. So we expected to speak less than we hear. So if you understand that G-Mix, and that's what I'm trying to get there too, that I have one mouth, but I
Right.
have 2 ears. So I'm expected to do more of listening than talking. So as a coach, I have to do a lot of listening. So it's a skill I'm building, and I think it's a skill everyone needs to build. Every home, every child, every parent, it's not too late to learn. Learning is never ending. So nothing is too late to learn. So listening is a great skill for everyone. The communication is a two-way gap. You are speaking, someone is listening. It has to be more of listening for any of us. Once you're able to listen well, you're able to connect, you're able to understand. And whilst listening comes questions. The questions help you to drive your points for better clarity. Sometimes I could be listening to you and I'm like, oh, Dan, do you mean this? Is this what you said? The questions will make you, expatiate further to make it more clearer to me because I have been listening. But if you're not listening, there's no way you can ask the right question. But if you're listening, I can see that, oh, he's making an improvement. Everyone has a strain one way or the other
Absolutely.
in their lives, and we're all work in progress. Every relationship, and I quite appreciate what you just discussed. A lot of homes, a lot of people, it's not a time to work out. Who tells you that the next person you're going to meet there is going to be better than the one you have? So stay put and manage the relationship. See how you can make it work. It could be that you find that take some time out, reflect and look inward. It might just be your own weakness. It might just be you. So you find that, oh, what am I doing right or what am I doing wrong? What do I need to improve? Once we're able to take some time, and this happens to everyone and every business too. Sometimes we get so busy in life and we are just up and doing, I'm busy. And we continue to we continue to work in a loop. We continue to repeat the mistake we do over and over and over. And our kids are watching us. The world is watching us. Sometimes we need to pause,
Over and over.
look
Mhm.
inward, and reflect and say, okay, what am I doing? What do I need to do better? How do I empathize with that person? What level is the person coming to me? I could be up there and the person is there. I need to come down to the person's level. We need to be at par to be able to communicate. So we need to learn how to empathize, look at every positive situation in every situation. Do not
Absolutely.
look yeah, things could be very,
Absolutely.
but
And if I may interject, because you have a good point there, and I want to add to that part that you were saying. And it's funny because all these things that we're doing, sometimes we fail to realize, especially if we are parents, especially if we are moms or dads. One thing sometimes we fail to realize is there's a little one behind us. There's the child that we are hoping to grow up into a better person. And what we do actually, it may
yeah,
be emulated. So we are role models, whether we want to be role models or not, whether we think we are good people or not. We become automatic role models to our children. And how we proceed in life and how we deal with our relationship, guess what? Someone's watching, someone is watching, and someone is learning. And if we don't strive to do the
true.
best we can in a positive manner, well, guess what? We're teaching them to go ahead and learn the wrong things because we're showing them the wrong things. So, absolutely, positivity is key, understanding and listening, but because of the relationship we're building through the children that we have. And not just the children that we have, it could be other people that may be watching you or seeing how you
Environment.
are. Exactly. We are role models to everyone, whether we want to be or not.
Sure. And there's a saying that says, an example is worth twice than an advice. Meaning that you could say something, don't do this, but what are you modeling? Your examples are what people want to see. Show me what you're doing. Don't tell me not to do it. I need to see it in you. And it is said that for children, pictures resonate. People keep a
Absolutely.
record of what you do than what you say. So a lot of times, what you don't want the people around you to see, don't do it because you are a model, you are an example, you are a leader, and that's why it is said everything rises and falls with a leader. Once you are a leader and called to be a leader, you've got to be careful the way you live life. You've got to be careful what you say, how you say it. Leader can be you can be a leader as a parent, as a mother, as a father, as a teacher, whatever you are a leader in your chosen field. You're a leader where you work. You're a leader in your ministry. You're a leader in your home as siblings. You're a leader. You're the elders, or even if you're not, you're going to be a leader someday. So these are all the things we need to put in place, knowing that we've got to model what we want people to do. You don't tell people to sit down there and you're doing something else. You don't tell them to do this and you're doing something else. We tend to follow people by pictures, and that's why you find that most of the teenage book, most of the children book has pictures, as this helps them to keep them in the memory. So we need to model what we want the world to see. I want to thank you, Dan, for giving us your time, and perhaps maybe you want to have a last word. Is there anything you want to say to the audience for those who are probably joining very late or somebody coming in? What's the last parting word? I want to appreciate you first for making that time out of your busy schedule I also want to thank our viewers who are online watching, and thank you for joining us. You're the reason why we come every Monday to do this show. And perhaps you may want to share it with others. Let them know what we're doing, share with others. And perhaps you want to reach any of our guests. Maybe their story resonated with you. You want them to coach or mentor you. You can reach me or reach them. I'll probably share their social media handle. And if you want to reach them, you're finding it difficult to reach them, you can often get me. But before we end this session, Dan, I would like you to say something, maybe parting words.
Sure, absolutely. And again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity and the platform to be able to share. Like-minded people, we all tend to share the same things in life, and allowing me to be able to speak in your platform is something I greatly appreciate. So yes, I would like to share one thing, which is I don't ever want to be perceived as the type of person that thinks of himself as righteous, because we weren't always like this. We didn't always have this kind of mindset. A lot of times, more often than not, we fell down, and we made mistakes. And it's unfortunate that sometimes we learn some of these lessons as we are older. And yes, I learned a lot of the things that I have learned now, a little bit on the older side, but that's okay because eventually we want to grow. So we want to move forward, and we want to go ahead and make sure that we're constantly growing. What I would like to share with your audience today, if there's any takeaways, is that always strive to not just better yourself, but always strive to look at the things in a positive way, to gather the people that you need. And I found this positive people that can guide you to move forward. One of the things that I used to tell my daughter when she was still in high school is that I never told her not to be friends or or to choose her friends. I told her, choose who your friends who you want to be, but choose them wisely.
Yeah,
Choose who are the ones that can motivate you, that will
sure.
allow you to go ahead and progress in life and not bring you down. Well, today I'm proud to say that she is a medical doctor today. So yes,
Awesome.
because she chose her friends in a way where well, for one thing, she chose educate, the ones that had a tendency to do one lesson and to study. So yes, I'm glad that she took that advice. I guess what I'm trying to say to people out there is choose people around you. One of the things that helped me move forward in a positive manner are Toastmasters. The Toastmasters family played a key role in having my perspective and my mindset change in a different way. And that is because there's a lot of good people out there, and they have a tendency to share the things in life with you. So Toastmasters is a good way to open up. John Maxwell Leadership and the people that are associated with John Maxwell, they're people that are always trying to embody lesson. And there's a lot of documentaries with good leadership, with good positivities. These are the things that we need to always grab a hold of. There's going to be a lot of distractions in life, and the older you get, you're going to come to realize that I didn't need all these distractions
Yeah,
because it only slowed me down. So I'm for those of you that are younger than me, and chances are that's 90% of the
yeah,
audience there, is that while you are still young, don't wait till you are in the older stage to learn the things that I've learned. Learn it now. Grab it from the right people, from the right positive people that have the right mindset. So takeaway I'm hoping to share and embody with you is find the right people, find the right support that can make you move forward in life. And again, thank you very much for having me here today. It was a pleasure. It was it was a great surprise. It's because I really didn't know how this would go, but I am uniquely and greatly satisfied and pleased to say it was my pleasure to be here today. Thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers. Let's go into our word to be a people of difference. Let's make a difference in our word. We have a circle of friends, circle of places God has placed us. Let's go and make a difference there. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.